Afternoon. The court's going to take up the next case on the court's docket C200058CPS. This is in the interest of Cody and Ezra Munoz. The case is set for a permanency hearing and pretrial. A trial is currently set September 15, 2021 at 9 a.m. with the dismissal date for the case being October 2nd, 2021. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. Participating in the hearing today on behalf of the department is Caseworker Lisa Lohman, Supervisor Lauren Wilde, and Regional Attorney Deborah Keenum. The mother of the children is Kimberly Munoz, and she's participating in the hearing today with her attorney ad litem Jessica Skinner. The father of the children is Michael Gonzalez, who is participating in the hearing today, along with his attorney ad litem, Brad Harrelson. The attorney ad litem and guardian ad litem for the children is Tiffany Shepard, and Ms. Shepard is participating in the hearing today. Maria Soto is the paternal grandmother and the current caregiver for the children, and she is participating in the hearing today. The children are excused from participating in the hearing today. If you'll stand by, I think Ms. Skinner may still be having a connection issue, and see if we can get that resolved real quickly. Thank you. If you'll stand by for a second.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Ms. Skinner, are you able to hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, as indicated, this is a permanency hearing and pretrial. If we are ready to proceed, I'm going to ask Ms. Soto, Mr. Gonzalez, Ms. Wilde, Ms. Munoz, Ms. Lohman, and let's see, if I didn't say so before, Ms. Soto, if each of you could raise your right hands, please. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, if we are ready to proceed, Ms. Keenum, if you want to call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor, the department calls Lisa Lohman.
All right, thank you.
Please state your name for the record.
Lisa Lohman.
Let's begin with the children. Where are they currently placed?
They are currently placed with paternal grandmother here in San Angelo.
And is she ready and willing to have permanency for these two boys?
She is willing to adopt the boys. She still has a couple of things that she needs to finish for her licensing so that she can do that.
And how are they doing in their current placement?
They're doing very well. They are thriving. They are growing. They're doing awesome.
And what is the permanency plan?
Relative adoption.
As far as the mother, what services, if any, has she worked?
She was not compliant at the beginning, but she did do some services recently. She was doing counseling with Kathy Carabio, and then I referred her to Lee West, but she has not started that counseling yet. She is currently living on the streets, so she doesn't have a place to live. She did a hair follicle in July, and it was positive for methamphetamines for 2,632 was the level. She is currently pregnant, and I believe she's approximately 6 months pregnant. She told me she's due in November, I think. So she has not been compliant with her services.
As far as Mr. Gonzalez, he was incarcerated, is that correct?
Yes, he was. He's recently been released from incarceration.
When was he released?
He was released earlier in July. He just got back to San Angelo recently, though. I spoke with him on Wednesday, and he's now living back in San Angelo. He has have an address for him, and he's got a job. And he
Okay.
did do some services while he was incarcerated. He did parenting, and I have a certificate for that. And he also did anger management and domestic violence.
And he at one point had signed an affidavit of relinquishment. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
And then he took that back.
Yes, ma'am.
And at one point was interested or possibly willing to sign another relinquishment.
At the last time I visited him in Tom Green County, he said that as if the children were staying with his mother, he would be willing to sign another relinquishment.
Do you know today what his intentions are?
We haven't talked about it since I believe it was early July when I visited him in jail in Tom Green County.
What services would he need to complete?
Well, he would have to show that he has stable housing. I already have the certificates for his domestic violence, his anger management, his parenting. He would need to maintain employment, be able to meet his children's basic needs, show that he can be a sober parent for his children. So completing drug tests. If he's positive on a drug test, he would need to do an ADAC assessment for alcohol or substance abuse.
And the trial is September the 9th
Yes, that sounds correct. Yes.
as the witness.
I have on my calendar, it's September 15th at 9.
I apologize, Your
record.
Honor.
It's okay. Just want to make sure we had the right date. Okay, thank you. All right. Ms. Skinner, did you have any questions for Ms. Lemon?
Yeah, just a couple. Ms. Lemon, Ms. Munoz has let you know that she no longer has any of her belongings. Isn't that correct?
She did tell me that. Yes.
And so that makes it difficult for her to find housing or places to stay or even work. Is that correct?
Yes, she did have a place to stay recently, but I think it was just with a friend that she was just staying with until she could find something else. But yes, that would be difficult.
And what happened to that last place to stay?
She told me this morning when I saw her that she was staying with her mom, but that wasn't working out for her either. So I'm assuming that she went from that place to her mom's house, and then now she's back on the streets again.
Yeah, and why can't she stay with her mom?
She said that this morning she told me that they were using drugs and she didn't want to stay with them.
That would be a good reason not to be there, isn't that right?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
What can you tell me about the levels on her drug test?
The level of 2,632, I have a drug information sheet, and that's considered medium use.
And could that be due to exposure?
I don't have the knowledge to say that that would be just exposure or not.
Pass the witness.
Okay, thank you. See, Mr. Harrells.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lohman, do you know whether or not Mr. Gonzalez has a driver's license?
I am not certain. No.
And when did he contact you after being released on parole?
He contacted me, I believe, Tuesday, but I was still on vacation and I came back Wednesday, and I think I spoke with him on Wednesday or Thursday.
Have you made any arrangements to set up further services with him since his release and contact with him?
Not just yet. No, sir, I haven't.
Okay. Are you aware of any of his conditions of parole?
No, I don't think we discussed that either.
I believe that's all for now, Your Honor. Pass the witness. Thank you.
Thank you. And so Ms. Shepherd, any questions?
No questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Keenum, did you have any additional questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if there's no other questions for this witness, Ms. Keenum, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Skinner. Did you have any witness you want to call?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrelson?
Your Honor, if you'll give me just a moment, about 30 seconds.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll call Michael Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, I believe I previously swore you in to your manner under oath. You may have to move forward a little bit for us to hear you, but we'll just see as we go forward. All right, Mr. Harrelson, when you're and he are ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michael, do you have a residence here in San Angelo?
Yes, sir.
And do you have a driver's license?
Well, my license, I have to pay some tickets for it to be reinstated, but I'm working on doing that. So I paid the reinstatement fee, but I just have to pay the tickets. I have remaining. Not that I had thought I set them out in jail, but that's what I'm doing right now. Look, I have a vehicle.
So you do have a vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so are you currently on parole?
Yes, sir.
And are you drug tested as a condition of that parole?
Yes, sir.
How often?
Every week.
Okay. Have you passed all your drug tests so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you required to attend AA or NA meetings?
Yes, sir.
How often do you go?
2 times a week.
Do you have to verify your attendance with parole?
Yes, sir.
Are you in compliance with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently in full compliance with your parole requirements?
Yes, sir.
In other words, there's some testimony, and the fact is that you had at one point signed an affidavit of relinquishment in this case. Is it now your desire not to give up your parental rights?
That's true.
To keep your parental rights in one shape or form, correct?
Yes, sir. I do.
Now, are you asking that Cody and Ezra be placed with you at this time?
No, not at this time. I just want my rights restored where I can have visits and I'm able to have contact with them until I get my own place.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Keenum, did you have any questions?
Where are you working
El Paisano restaurant,
and how many hours a week do you work?
probably about 35.
And where do you currently reside?
With the family member, 609 West Avenue X.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
With the family member,
What's the name of the family member?
Adela Valdez.
And how is Adela Valdez related to you?
She's my mom's cousin, so I think that would make her my second cousin.
And does she have any CPS history?
I don't believe so. No, ma'am.
Does she have any criminal history?
No, ma'am.
Is there anybody else in that home?
No, ma'am.
What's that address?
609 West Avenue X.
And how long have you been working? How long have you been discharged from incarceration?
About a week and a half, I think.
Ask the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Skinner, did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Shepherd, any questions?
Mr. Gonzalez, when does your parole end?
In the next 11 months. I'm on it for a year, 12 more months, probably.
Okay, so we're talking about July 2022?
I think August 2022.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harrelson, do you have any additional questions?
No, Your Honor, not for Mr. Martinez.
All right, any other questions for
Gonzalez, sorry.
Mr. Gonzalez? Okay.
No,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
And Mr. Harrelson, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Thank you. Ms. Shepherd, did you have any other witness you want to call?
I don't have any witnesses, Your Honor. I just believe that Ms. Soto is the appropriate and safe placement right now for these children. And I'm in agreement with keeping the children there for the time being.
Thank you. Anything else from anyone for purposes of today's hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, as Mr. Gonzalez stated during his testimony, he would like to begin to have contact with his children. So I would ask the court to order the department to begin working toward that.
Department have any opposition to him having visits? I wasn't aware of any prescription other than he had been incarcerated. Is
I
there a-
don't know. The department can set up visits.
Okay. All right. Well, my understanding is the department's going to set those up. I guess, Mr. Harrelson, what I'd suggest to you is if you're not satisfied with whatever they set up for him, you can request a hearing if we you get one set before the trial. But my understanding is the department's willing to do that. So I can direct the department to get something set up. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. And that's reasonable. The trial's coming up pretty soon. So, I mean, the department, I think I can trust the department to do what's appropriate in this situation. If not, we can talk about it, but I'm not anticipating a problem.
Okay, thank you. All right, the court will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children in the current placement at this time. Right now, the trial remains set September 15th, 2021 at 9 a.m. with the dismissal date on October 2nd, 2021. I would advise any of the parents in the case, because of the nature of these proceedings, your parental custodial rights and duties to your children remain or are subject to restriction or even termination, and your progress on any court orders or plans of service will be reviewed at future hearings in this case, including at the trial of this case. With that, we'll be adjourned for today.